So with Deadpool 2 out now, and many people talking about a lot of the aspects from the film, including cameos that they didn't expect, characters they didn't expect, and of course the post-credit scene, many people want to talk about some of the cut content, including the people behind the film. So recently they sat down in an interview and let it be known that there was actually supposed to be another cameo that didn't make it into the film, this time involving Captain America himself, Chris Evans. Now, of course, most people these days will know Chris Evans as Captain America, his defining role in his career, but many people seem to ignore or have forgotten for a good reason, or just don't even know, because they're younger, they've never seen the movies, that Chris Evans was, of course, the Human Torch. And actually, he wasn't a bad Human Torch, he was pretty great as Johnny Storm. As it just turns out, everything around the movie was bad besides the castings. So as it turns out, before the Deadpool 2 writers came up with the actual post-credit scene that they ended up going with in the movie, there was other discussions, and unfortunately those didn't pan out. Not because Chris Evans turned them down, instead they decided to go with the post-credit scenes they did before they ever got to the stage of actually asking him to appear. But essentially what was going to happen is the post-credit scene was going to include Deadpool going over and talking to Chris Evans, who would have been Human Torch at the time, and of course telling him that things are only going to get better in the future because he's going to play Captain America. Now honestly, I think this would have been quite an amazing scene to see, but I'm also glad that they didn't go with it. It would have felt very out of place, and that unknown factor of people being like, wait, he was Human Torch? So a lot of kids aren't going to know that because they haven't seen the movie. I can attest to that with all the children that my friends have. You know, it's just like, it's not something that's very commonly known, and those movies aren't like regarded as good or anything, so it would have been kind of weird to do that. And then you got to think about the acquisition of Fox that's probably going to happen by Disney. That would have just caused even more problems. So ultimately, they decided not to go with that and go with the ending they did, which I'm actually glad that they did because it's funnier in terms of who Deadpool is. So yeah, so what could have been? Captain America, Human Torch in the Deadpool post-credits.